Hello, everybody. Good evening. We have a lovely Wednesday tonight, and I welcome you to SkyWay, the New Age Technology, SkyWay Technology presentation. And today we are going to talk more about the technology itself, of course, the new news, what awesome is going on, and much more. So stay tuned, and we will discuss many topics today, and of course for all the new members of SkyWay community and all the new participants and then people who see this webinar for the first time, I will discuss with you the main aspects of SkyWay technology itself as well, to get you more into the information that is the most necessary and the most valuable, and what difference us from all the other technologies. All right, I will cancel my video here so you can focus more on presentation. I got the chance to say hi to you. And then, well, briefly about myself. I'm Mihkel. I'm from Estonia and have been more than 3 years now a SkyWay investor. And of course, I'm a big promoter and expander of the network of SkyWay, and want to change the world together with this great technology. But of course, we will discuss all of these awesome clues and awesome pieces of information throughout this webinar. But first news I want to tell you about is that we have been certified in the United Arab Emirates. So in Sharjah, where is our second demonstration and certification center. The first track, 400-meter track for tropical Unicar and for a smaller sea container, is ready for a long time now, and tests have been made. Hundreds of thousands of kilometers have been ran on this with the models, with the Unicar on the lines. So so we can say that, proudly say that we have done and put a lot of effort. Well, at least Yunitsky and his team has put a lot of effort into this project, and to certify, to say it's short thing. That's why we have the certification processes among the world. Well, we started, as you might remember, from Belarus, where near Minsk there is a Eco Technopark, our first demonstration and certification center, and we know that already many models like Unicars, Unibuses, Uniwind, and then those different models of Unibuses and not the Unicon, but what is made also for cargo and for example for liquids, and that model has been certified, and the track structures, of course, but those are all under Russian and Belarus standards. So now we have been certified under tropical climate standards, so we can say that this will be the window, the open crack for us to be successful in the tropical climate countries like India, Indonesia, African countries, and so on. But I have some great news more, but those I will tell you in the end of the presentation. And this is the first demonstration and certification center in Belarus. And these are the Unicars, and they did many different tests and demonstrations. For example, if something happens with one of these models, one of the Unicars, then you can see these elements in front and in the nose of this model, so they can attach with each other perfectly, so either can pull or lift them to the nearest station or maintenance area. Yeah, well, this is the back to United Arab Emirates. This is the first track, the 400-meter track, and behind it, if you look below the station or the slide, so to say, then on the sand there you can see the supports, which has no track structure placed on it yet, but it has these supports. So that one will be the second one, and as we know, the second and third one will be built in parallel, and those will be 2 and almost half, 2 and 2.4 kilometers long, so much longer, and then can hold much heavier weights. So this is the first and ever built wooden house in United Arab Emirates, at least officially. So that is an enormous achievement for us and for SkyWay, of course, and for all the investors, because nobody else has done it before, has built a wooden house in United Arab Emirates. So SkyWay is the first one, and this is the eco house. It should supposed to develop and maintain and produce everything by itself, so it doesn't need outcoming energy sources and so on. So this is the future again. But all right, back to SkyWay. This is the tropical Unicar on the first line. As you can see, it's beautiful, and this one is now certified. And of course, when the first when it was said by SkyWay team that now the people can also come and then test it to see how the comfortableness and all this, this should be luxurious models as well. So how this feels, how people feel when they're inside, and those were very successful events and processes as well. So this is one of the journalists from the National, and then she was also among the first ones who tested for the first time in live and in person. And now this is also one great achievement. This was this story was covered by French television and many other countries' televisions, but this is the smaller sea container transportation system, and this track especially is my personal favorite one, because it's so neat and it's small, and when you're further away you can't even see the line. So that's why it's amazing. But yes, revolutionary again. But now let's start with the main part for all the newcomers and for all the people who are listening for the first time and maybe do not know that much about SkyWay. I will tell you briefly about 7 reasons, the main reasons, the 7 whys. So, which will answer the question why SkyWay is here to stay and why this technology is the one that we should invest in and tell to our people who we know and the investors that we know also about this technology. So let's see, but mainly what it does for the world. Well, in the past, about 100 years ago, one visionary and artist pictured a future, as you can see on the slide, and it's not it's very accurate picture. Of course, the technologies of the cars and other mobiles here, as we can see on the first level, those are quite old, or those days technologies. Today we know that these are renewed, but the second level, the idea about going to second level still exists, and it's getting only stronger. And mainly, with this slide, I like to tell my listeners, or our listeners, that today, if we take a look at the biggest cities like Rome or New York, or you can name it, whatever biggest city you can imagine and think about of, then those cities have perfect first level infrastructure. They have all these cars, taxis, electrical mobiles like scooters and bikes, and then skateboards and so on, buses, tramways, trolley buses, trains. But the problems with the trafficking and the accidents and the overpopulation still grows, and we just cannot tear down the houses inside the city to build new roads. So there has to be another solution, and the another solution is, in my opinion, as it was 100 years ago, in that the artist's opinion, is to go on the second level. And that's why I present to you this technology that I'm talking to you about today. And I've shown already pictures, but to go further on, let's see some other technology that people have come up and have made. and which are in use today as well. So one of those is monorail. And well, monorail is also quite expensive, about 80 million US dollars per kilometer, and even more. And it's very massive if you look at the construction here beneath it. And it's quite slow as well, up to 80 kilometers per hour, but and makes a lot of noise, of course. So many aspects that Skyway can approve, or not, no, sorry, not approve, but make better, so to say. And the metro as well. Here, just a look at. And this technology is now is possible to ride it with in Germany. And well, if you look at behind the technology, then you can see the supports, the green ones. Those have to be placed after every 15-20 meters. So it has to be quite well placed in yes, after every 20 meters. So there are a lot of supports, and it's quite impossible to put it inside the city if you think about the city centers and the streets. So that's why the riverside is chosen here as well. This technology, what you can see on the slide, is possible to find in China, and this is basically by the technological aspects. It's basically like a tramway, but it's upside down, so it has wheels on the roof. But otherwise, it's quite the same as tramway. And now this one is more interesting, maybe because by the looks, it looks it is quite similar to Skyway, at least on the right side on the picture up there you can see. But the main and the biggest problem with this technology and the main difference with Skyway is that the models wherein the people are located and then traveling with those models do not move themselves, but they are attached to the they cling basically to the string. And the string moves by the engines that are in the beginning of the road structure, like you can see on the right side, the orange wheel there. That is the engine which spins the strings, and therefore the models move. But Skyway has its own wheels, motor wheels, and then can move by it. And of course, the most popular technology is Doppelmayr. I mean, I showed this picture again on the right side up there. That one basically, we can say that one is a Doppelmayr, and Doppelmayr technology has many accidents already, and it's quite slow. It's about 20 kilometers per hour. It is also quite expensive, but its only purpose is to drive people within some area in a slow pace, and then but up high. So it can be fun to ride with it, and it can be touristic, but it does not have any place to be a real connection within the traffic system itself. But now let's take it to the new age, and let me welcome you more about this, and let me welcome you the new technology and tell you more about the Skyway. And as I promised, 7 reasons. The first one is that it is innovative. It is fully electrical. It is fully autonomous. It doesn't have any drivers on board. It can it's possible to put it to make the system go like that after every 3 seconds a new Unicar, for example, goes out from the station. So of course we have to think and depend on the people, so how much time they need to get on board and then come off the board and so on. But it's possible to make it very effective transportation system, and we can modify it by the needs of the environment, certain environment. But all right, more about the innovation. The second big difference from, for example, railway is that we can go 2 sides at the same time with Skyway, so we can ride on the rails and we can ride above the rails. So therefore, for example, On the rails, there can be the express line, which goes, for example, hundreds of kilometers without any stops, but beneath it, it can be a model which takes many stops. And the rail itself, it basically inside the metal frame, there is a special filler which fills the pre-stressed strings, which are patented, of course, and makes it very strong. So even if we, well, yes, it is amazing, and we can even take the electricity or internet or different cables through the track structure itself. The second point is that the SkyWay is very ecological, as you can see on the picture. And here comes out the point also, which I described before, that we can go both above and beneath the track structure at the same time, so simultaneously two ways. So it's impossible with the tramways or other technologies. And right, of course, we all know about the CO2 levels, and those have to be reduced. And governments are doing all the efforts that they can in order to reduce basically the CO2, well, the CO2 levels that that directly will be the emission of some some action we have taken. So therefore the automobiles have to be electrical in the future and so on. So within, I think, few decades we will see fully electrical environments, at least here in Europe and in the United States, I believe, and other developed countries. Another point which makes it ecological is the wind resistance, which is about 10 times less than with normal car, or with, well, because, well, mainly the shape of the body of Unicars is made to cut the wind, so it's very thoroughly thought of our lead engineer, Dr. Anatoli Unitsky, who is the creator of this technology. And the other aspect is that with cars, if you drive on an asphalt road, for example, the wind goes beneath the car and causes a screen effect. And that also our technology do not have, and which makes it cut wind much better. And therefore the wind resistance is much lower. Yes, and all different kind of problems which occur constantly today with our known technologies and our known environments are here presented on the slide, and it all takes a lot of resources to maintain it. And maybe few words more about these slides. On the left side, you can see the new construction of new railroad. Basically, we need, if you take 200 kilometers, for example, we need a new road. There is a project, and we need to take down everything in the path that can be in the path. So all the forests, houses, constructions, so on, we will clear the path. We will dig it 7 meters below the road structure. Then we'll fill it with special filler and construct a railroad on it, so it can maintain its structure and well, it can be normally functioning for decades. Therefore, it's a lot of resources to do that. And on the right side, the explosions, to exploding of mountains to construct new roads, also a highly expensive topic. But we have a technology, we have SkyWay, we can take it, start it on the mountain, take it to the riverside. We do not need to construct it directly to the landscape itself, so no mountain is obstacle or any river can be obstacle. So yes, there are many great aspects, and 8-hour drives can be, well, reduced to, well, for example, hour and hour 30 minutes. So there are great benefits with the technology. And of course, the growth of population, the traffic jams, this is also very big problem around the world, because again, almost every person who has driving license can and will be driving cars, because today, well, people have much more well, there are different aspects, of course. There we can find car in every price, basically. So all the people who want really the car can have it, and many people want. So therefore, there are many problems that need to be solved. And then one way is SkyWay. Yes. So now let me find the second part of the presentation, and we'll be continuing soon. Here it is. Third point, safety. Many people have asked, and the government's first question always, well, at least one of the first questions always is that, is it safe? How can you provide safety with this technology? And well, I believe that everything has been taught thoroughly again, and I will explain you on the previous slides. First of all, we have this motor wheel anti-derailment system. So basically, when we turn SkyWay upside down on the rail structure, it still clings to the rail structure, so it won't fall off or anything. So therefore, it is very strong. The derailment system itself. Then we have 360 degrees cameras that scan the environment constantly. So if any obstacle will come our way, the Unicar, for example, will stop immediately. So it has been also tested, and Dr. Anatoli Unitsky made even a video about it. So you can Google it or go to your back office and find the news. I believe it was in the spring when he first tested it and showed the video how he ran in front of the moving Unicar, and it stopped, and then either way Anatoli Unitsky started running, the Unicar either followed or backed away in the same speed. So that's quite amazing. And the inside, the interior cameras are also placed. So, and if anything happens with one model on the road, for example, there some problems with batteries or whatever problem that can be, there is the same similar model. For example, Unibus has a partner, another Unibus which will be running beneath it. So there are elements in front of the nose and in the back side of the models, so they can attach with each other and either pull or lift to the station. And then if that the previous solution or version is not available or possible, then inside the models beneath the seats there are special packages and strips which you can pull around your waist and around your body and lift yourself down with this mechanism that has been come up by SkyWay engineers. So again, the safety is provided in every possible way. And this man, about, I believe it was 1 or 2 months ago when this video and news came out from your back office, and this man demonstrated all this, how to do it, this process, demonstrated every piece of it, and successfully landed on the ground, was healthy and so on. Fabulous, I can say fabulous, and I believe it's much more safe to drive with SkyWay than to drive with this in this way, which is done, of course, in many countries every day. All right, let's move on. Fourth point is that we have real models, products. Many of them are already certified. As you might remember, in the beginning I said that we got our certification of the first track in United Arab Emirates as well. So we are not just showing pictures, but we have real products and products that are needed. And then we have contracts and the buildings and the building of the tracks, the commercial tracks, the tracks which will bring money to the company, and therefore 20% of that will be divided between investors, and everybody can become an investor today. But all right, let's see on more what's there is. Yes, the Vietnamese system, and I will show the next slide. And this is said to be revolutionary because today the average speed of one sea container to move is about 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, but SkyWay tracks can maintain the speed up to 80 to 90 kilometers per hour and can go both ways parallel. So as you can remember the story I told you with railroads, where you can go only one side or one way at the same time on a one rail pair. So, but with SkyWay, it's 2 times efficiency, and the loading and untocking time is under 1 minute. And that's also brilliant. The fifth point is that the demand for SkyWay is everywhere today. We started from Republic of Belarus. We have made our way to United Arab Emirates. As we know, in the end of last year, we started the certification process in 4 European countries as well. So soon we should have these certifications and the processes that far that we can start making more detailed contracts in European countries as well. But at least now I know that on every continent we have our own partners who will work to get the technology out there as well. So demand is everywhere. Sixth point is that we have a strong team. We have more than 600 workers, all the specialists that we need to starting from producing our products till the promoting our products. We have all these people. What is more, we have near 1 million investors globally, which is great. And then we have our own design bureaus. We have our own production facilities, offices. So this all belongs to investors as well. And the seventh point is that it is financially beneficial, and of course the first part, or the first group of people are investors who will be financially benefiting from the success of SkyWay, because 20% of all the profits will belong to divide between all the investors, depending on how much shares they have. So therefore, it's more than necessary for investors to wait patiently to help to promote the technology, because as we know, money is fuel. Therefore, investors are needed to promote it and to build it and develop it. And one day, when the day comes in the near future, when we start profiting from the projects, and we will start benefiting by the dividends, or we can sell our shares on the stock market, then we understand what we did back that day when we first heard about this technology. So all this information is possible to find in the back offices as well, and the people who have been invited you here to see this webinar, be in contact with them and let them consult you how to do better and what to do and what are the options and choices for you to be successful here within this SkyWay system as well. But of course, now if you talk about the technology itself and for the customers and who can be the potential customers, those can be all the governments, cities, and private companies as well. And if you look all these aspects I have told you today, and now let's take a look at the price, and it's 10 and more times cheaper, and we comprehend that it's much cheaper than all the other technologies. So therefore there shouldn't be any more questions. Just we need to start from somewhere, and then let's see how this goes. But all right, now the news section. As you know, the address project in United Arab Emirates was announced. That actually was announced already 3 or 4 months ago. But I just wanted to recall that so that should be 100-kilometer track starting from Sharjah up to Liivakant city. So let's see how that rolls out. So, and the second news is that we will take part in Expo in Dubai. So whenever you go to the Expo this year up to next year's March, then you can go and visit SkyWay section as well. And then I know that the bigger participants who want to see the technology themselves can go even to the Sharjah Innovation Center as well. And this is the mock-up that will be presented there in the expo area. And then during because of we got our certification and all this live demonstration started as well with sea containers, which you see on this slide. We got a lot of coverage by international media in the United Arab Emirates, and first of all the French television, the Indian CNN from the United States, the Australia, Romanian TV. So even the Vietnamese TV talked about us, and there were many magazines in Vietnam, Vietnamese magazines where SkyWay was in, and then the Korean media talked about us. So a lot of coverage these days. And now back to the numbers, which is also great about this technology. The mother company, the Unitsky String Technologists, who owns the company, or which owns the company, is that they will release each year they will release the financial audit of their results. So the incomes, outcomes, profits, and so on. So every person who wants can go to their back office and see this document as well. And quite recently, diplomats from from 20 different countries visited the the Unitsky String Technologies Center in Sharjah. And again, what will happen after this event, we don't know yet, but it must be great because they all were very satisfied and will talk about this technology to another members of high-level different corporations and so on. The technology can come to reality. Also, representatives of the government from Abu Dhabi visited innovation center in Sharjah, and then many other delegations. What is more is that the Sharjah authorities of Sharjah confirmed the reliability of the string track in United Arab Emirates, and Anatoli Unitsky received this this document, and that also shows the great relationship and the strong relationship and trusts and so on between our company and between our leader and the local government. Now, again, great news from Africa is that the Rwandan ambassador also visited the center in Sharjah and talked about the possible projects and possible outcomes of their country to connect the different African countries, because as we know the road structure and road climate or the education is not that great there. I personally were in Kenya about 1 year ago, and I saw how this surrounding was. There are a lot of big trucks that mostly drive on the road. Mostly the big trucks drive there, and then it's very dangerous to drive with a smaller automobile. So that is also the reason why the Toyota's Land Cruisers are very wanted cars there and so on. So the road structures are not in great shape. So therefore SkyWay is a great tool for them as well. And then the Unicar, of course, we are developing constantly our technology as well. As you know, the rails got a different layer on it to make the rides much smoother and the noise pollution much lower. Now we have been fitted with a more efficient suspension, so the development constantly goes on. And the last news is that the nation, Anatoli Unitsky the general designer of Unitsky string technology, participated in the GITEX forum, which is the largest exhibition in the field of innovations in Dubai. and he gave a speech that we should go into the space, but not for any reason. All our problems, he said, on the earth are created by industry. Electricity and chemical industry should be taken out of our biosphere. The only place where we can do that is 300 kilometers above the earth. And also he has the solution how to do it. But if you want to read more about it, just go to your back office. It's one of the most recent news there, so you can easily find it under the news section. And at last, I always like to show this picture to my listeners and viewers, where Dalai-lama gives his blessing to Dr. Anatoli Unitsky, and this picture was taken a few years ago, when Dalai-lama also said that this path you have taken, Dr. Anatoli Unitsky, is not going to be easy, but eventually you will be successful, and the world really needs this technology. So with these amazing words and great spirit, I like to end our today's presentation. And of course, I want to invite you to our next presentation, where we talk about the new news. We will cover again the main reasons why SkyWay. So invite new people and be here and listen our series of these webinars, and so we can all get more educated about the technology. But see you again exactly in 2 weeks, the same time. And I wish you all a pleasant evening, and stay healthy, stay strong, and let's make smart choices. All right. Goodbye, everybody.